What's happening, guys? It's your boy Ricardo and welcome to episode 2 of Back on the Bank. In today's episode I am fishing a day ticket water in Essex called The Chase. Now I presume some of you may have already heard of The Chase before. It's been around for a long time. Basically this is a country park water, which means that people have open access to walk around it, but you can do nights here, so it is quite an interesting place to fish. I've fished a mixture of 24, 48 and 72 hour sessions over the last few months, but I just haven't been able to catch one yet and it's really getting to me. But I have faith because a couple of my mates have already fished this water. They've been doing it for a few years and some of the fish they've had out of here are in pristine nick. The front lake at The Chase has a lot of old warrior fish in it, 2 of which go up to 40 pound. I know there's 2 known 40s, there may be another one but I'm not sure, and a large number of 30s in here. So I've pitched myself up on a 24-hour session. Got here yesterday at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm looking to leave the lake at about 5 o'clock today. It's about 9 in the morning now on the Friday morning, and unfortunately I didn't catch anything last night. I had a couple of liners on my rods but nothing to report, unfortunately. So I'm fishing in a swim called the Snags, which obviously has a snaggy area along the margin on the left side. On my left rod I've decided to fish about a rod length off the snaggy area, put about 50 baits over the top, nothing drastic because I'm only here for a short session. Yeah, light approach, just trying to nick a bite really because I'm struggling at the moment. I've got my middle rod about 40 yards out just before a gravel bar, and then I've got my right rod about 30 yards out just before an island. So there are quite a few features on this lake, to be fair. Let's go through the rig choice then. I've decided to use a stiff hinge rig. It's a nice pop-up bait sort of rig. There's 2 elements to it. You've got your coated hook link and then you've got your stiff bristle section of the rig. I've had inspiration from this rig from a few friends who have been using it on this water for the last few months, and they have had a bit of success on it, but they do put the time in. They've had their 6-week holiday, and to be fair, they've put a lot more time in on this water than I've been able to. This lake, in a nutshell, is probably one of the toughest lakes I've fished and continues to be. It's really getting a little bit draining, but I'm sticking to my guns and hopefully I get a little bit of a reward soon. I'll quickly talk to you about some of the products that I've used to tie the stiff hinge rig. I've gone with the Ridge Monkey RM Tech stiff material, and then I've tied that via an Albright knot to some basic Calder end trap coated hook link. I've then finished the rig off with a 13mm proper job pop-up. Now, as soon as you open the pot, they are pungent as hell. So I've got 2 rods on the white ones, which are quite washed out. They're like a creamy white colour and they smell really sweet, Scopexy sort of flavour. And then I've got my other rod on a burgundy squid and octopus flavour, which I'm not going to get out because they stain my fingers and they absolutely stink. But yeah, check out Proper Job pop-ups if you haven't used these already, because they are super, super buoyant. I'm going to make myself a bit of breakfast now, so I'll catch up with you guys shortly. So I just made myself a trustworthy bacon roll, but I wanted to check in, guys. Put some Nando sauce in your bacon roll. I just put some medium peri-peri sauce in it and it is glorious. Give it a go. Whilst we're on the topic of blanking, I thought I'd just mention that on this channel I'm going to be real. Obviously a lot of the channels on social media these days tend to just put up the catches that they have, and they don't necessarily talk about the harder times when they're blanking and struggling on the bank. So with this channel I'm trying to make it as real as possible so that people can understand obviously the nature of carp fishing and that it's not as easy as people think. As I mentioned before, this is a really, really tough water, and I'm sure there's many across the UK that people spend hours upon hours on and don't catch anything. So there's always ways to still engage with your subscribers, the people that are watching your content in other ways, and not necessarily just showing people all of your catches. So I don't know if you guys can see, but I've just zooming in onto my left rod, which is the snaggy area rod, and I've been watching some fizzing happen above my bait for the last 5 minutes. So I'm on my toes, but you never know what's going to happen. So guys, it's 1 o'clock now and I'm checking in, still no action, but I have to admit I've seen a ton of fizzing over 2 of my rods. So I've been on my toes for the last 30 to 45 minutes, but just nothing is going on. I can't believe it. Oh, it's painful. It is painful, but what are you gonna do? Rick, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna hold out. I'm going to keep my rods in the water until about 5 o'clock, which is when I'm going to be going home. I do feel like something will happen because the temperature and the conditions are spot on for a bite. I've just been told that a couple of fellas down the other end of the lake have had one. So I'm in the right position. I just don't know what else to do, to be honest. You just got to be patient, I know, but come on the carp. Cherry cola, spot on. Boom. Okay, so people, my 24-hour session is coming to a close. Unfortunately, I haven't had a beep on any of the 3 rods since this morning, early hours of the morning that was. So yeah, a little bit disappointed, but it is what it is. Sometimes these things happen, and as I said before, you're not always going to catch fish. So I'm happy to document the days that I do blank, and then obviously when I do catch fish, those videos are going to be epic. But yeah, unfortunately I haven't had anything. I am a bit gutted, but we move on and we move forward. I believe I got my tactics correct, to be fair, and as I say, the weather has been great for it, so I'm a bit confused as to why I haven't had a bite. But anyway, so I'm going to be packing my stuff up now, going to see the missus. It's Friday evening, so looking forward to chilling out with her, probably get a takeaway or something, I don't know, and we'll go from there. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. I see there are a few subscribers. Thanks for joining, and I hope that you're enjoying my content. Sorry that my content hasn't been a little bit more regular, but as I said before, I've been really busy, so it's been quite difficult to get out. But hopefully I'll get a couple more editing weeks in over the next couple of weeks, and you'll see a few more sessions from myself. I'm thinking about going to a new water. I keep saying on Instagram that I'm going to be doing that, and I still haven't done that for obvious reasons. But yeah, I'm looking to maybe go and fish Farlow's complex. I've heard some good things about that place, and if I can get over there for a few nights during the week over the next couple of weeks, I shall do so. In the meantime, guys, I hope you enjoy the content. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel below, and I shall see you in the next episode. Peace.